Namaste, Kumar.
Namaste, Uma.
Namaste.
Did you go to the Ilayaraja program?
No, Kumarji, I didn't go.
The talk of the town.
Yes. I never go to concerts.
Oh, you don't go? Okay. Okay.
Namaste, Kumar.
Namaste, everyone.
Namaste, everyone. Namaste, Lakshmi ji.
Namaste, Uma.
Start with 3 Oms. So, as usual, the first Om is to transcend the physical body. The second Om is to transcend this entire universe. And the third Om is to merge with the divine. Let's take a deep breath. Om. Suprabhatam, Namo Namaha, depending on where you are. So, we have completed the Sadhana Pada, Samadhi Pada, and starting today, we will step into Sadhana Pada. I'll give a quick overview of the chapter, and then we will look at the sutras.
Good morning, Kumarji. Shall I chant after your explanation then?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that okay with you?
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay, thank you. So in the previous chapter or Sadhana Pada, or the first chapter, the first chapter explains that essentially the goal of yoga, is to establish that cosmic connectivity, which is what Samadhi Pada is all about. That's what we saw, right? We saw various states of Samadhi, and we also saw the true meaning of Samadhi is to establish that connectivity with the unmanifest divine. So this is the full complete overview about it we saw. So in the second chapter, which is called the Sadhana Pada, Patanjali Muni is going to essentially tell you how do you go about working with this philosophy of establishing connectivity with the divine. and how you can experience it, how you can experience it, and all that. So in this chapter, in the first few sutras, Patanjali Muni is going to tell you that you have to go through the process of realizing that you are only an instrument. Although we have discussed this thought of this understanding of that we are only an instrument. We have discussed this many times. He's going to put that in a sutra in this chapter, so that you fully believe what I'm saying, what I have been saying so far. So you will see that he says this body is only an instrument, and this body is to be used for that connectivity. Basically, he is saying this body is only an instrument in order to fulfill its program. And what are the underlying components of the program will be discussed by Patanjali Muni, which is Sutra number 3, where he explains the root impurities of the programmed entity. Okay, so he wants us to understand that we are only an instrument, and as an instrument, we are a set of programs. And unfortunately, this set of programs with which we have come has some impurities. So he's going to talk about those impurities. So thereafter, he goes on to say that once you begin to be a pure observer of these programs that which have come, the programs, once you become an observer, that's what he says, once you become an observer, these programs cannot go and create more such programs. That's what he's going to illustrate to us. Cannot go and create more such programs, and hence cannot create more activations. And so under these circumstances, you will begin to realize who you are, who you truly are, which is kind of said already in chapter 1. But he is going to give a little bit more detail about a step-by-step process to do this. So he's going to give a step-by-step process to realize who you are. That's why it is called sadhana pada. So this step-by-step process is called, it's actually an eightfold or 8-step process, and it is called Ashtanga Yoga. So he's going to explain that. Actually, in Sutra 29, he's going to state the 8 steps of Ashtanga Yoga. And then after stating the 8 parts, or 8 steps, or 8 angas, because Ashta Anga, Ashta means 8, Anga means parts. So after stating the 8 parts or limbs or angas, he will describe each and every limb, every anga, in the 8-fold yoga. And in this chapter, he is going to describe 5 of the 8 elements. And in the next chapter, which is called the Vibhuti Pada, he is going to explain the other 3. The first 5, he says, are more related to the mind and body area. Whereas on the other hand, the 3 remaining are in the body and spirit area. So when you get into the body and spirit domain, or body and spirit connectivity into the cosmos, out of that emerges many different kinds of experiences. When you get into the body, so mind and body, and mind and spirit. What is the spirit? The spirit is this chitta, a copy of which is out there, right? So the mind and spirit connectivity into the cosmos, out of that emerges many different kinds of experiences. Those experiences, or those supernormal experiences people have, are being described in Vibhuti Pada. So Vibhuti means extraordinary or very special experiences. That's the name of that is the meaning of that Vibhuti, meaning of Vibhuti. So the purpose of describing that in the next chapter is, if you are a practitioner and you start experiencing this, do not think you are hallucinating or going crazy. Okay, supposing you start getting experiences where your body levitates on its own. It has to levitate only on its own. Or suddenly people say, oh, I cannot see you. So you disappear. But you are there, but you disappear to the other's eyes. Those kinds of special experiences. So don't think that you're hallucinating or going crazy. So those are real experiences. And these are the kinds of experiences one might have. So in order to explain that, he explains the siddhis or special experiences in Vibhuti Pada. And also he when we get there, he will say, just because you have these experiences, don't think that you are special. These experiences are coming, but the ultimate goal is to become completely free and to achieve Kaivalya. That is the ultimate goal. So this is on the way. So don't get carried away by all this and don't think you are special. You are getting these siddhis, whatever siddhis you get or you don't get, it is all coming because the cosmic flow of things, the cosmic energy feels that you need it to fulfill certain things on the way. That's why you are getting those experiences. So if Arjuna got the experience of Vishwarupa Darshan, don't think that everybody is going to get it. And it is not necessary. Arjuna had to get it because Krishna had to prove to him that he is unmanifest and that he has that connectivity with the unmanifest divine. So if you already have come to a stage where you can accept all these things, you don't need a Vishwarupa Darshan. So the siddhis and various experiences will come to you based on what is needed for you. So what is needed for me will be different from what is needed for others. For Sri Lata, for example, for my sister, for example, everything will be different. So don't think you are special. Everyone is special. Don't think you alone are special. Everyone is special. So on that note, we will move on to the sutras. And before we move on to the sutras, I will let Kranti to chant the first 9 sutras. Go ahead, Kranti. I'm going to pull up the sutras here.
Yeah. Om. योगेन चित्तस्य पदेन वाचा मलं शरीरस्य च वैद्यकेन योपाकरोत्तं प्रवरं मुनिना पतञ्जलिं प्राञ्जलिराणतोऽस्मि आबाहुपुरुषाकारं शङ्खचक्रासिधारिणम् सहस्रशिरसं श्वेतं प्रणमामि पतञ्जलिम् श्रीमते अनन्ताय नागराजाय नमो नमः। अथ साधनपादः तपः स्वाध्याय ईश्वरप्रणिधानानि क्रियायोगः समाधिभावनार्थः क्लेश तनूकरणार्थश्च अविद्या अस्मिता राग द्वेष अभिनिवेशाः क्लेशाः अविद्या क्षेत्रम् उत्तरेषां प्रसुप्त तनु विच्छिन्न उदाराणाम् अनित्य अशुचि दुःख अनात्मसु नित्य शुचि सुख आत्मख्यातिः अविद्या दृग्दर्शनशक्त्योः एकात्मता इव अस्मिता सुखानुशयी रागः दुःखानुशयी द्वेषः स्वरसवाही विदुषोऽपि समारूढः अभिनिवेशः।
Thank you, Kranti. Thank you. So, we will move on to Sutra number 1. Tapaha Swadhyaya Ishvara Pranidhanani Kriya Yoga. So, Patanjali Muni is explaining what is yoga. He has already explained what is yoga, but he wants to give a little bit more, saying what he is really meaning by this yoga. He says this yoga that we are talking about is really active yoga. That is Kriya Yoga. Is active yoga or yoga of action. It's not just sitting and doing nothing. It is yoga of action. And what are the actions? Tapaha Swadhyaya Ishvara Pranidhanani Kriya Yoga. So tapas is one. We all know what is tapas. So tapas is a deep meditation. Swadhyaya. Swadhyaya is actually two words. Swa Adhyaya. Swadhyaya is Swa plus Adhyaya. Swa means self, myself. Adhyaya is inquiry or studying or is Adhyaya. So means self-learning. Swa Adhyaya means Swadhyaya means self-learning. So this self-learning, what is this self-learning? This self-learning is about the fourth dimension, not about how to make money, how to solve a mathematical equation, how to invest. It's not those things, not things of this materialistic world, but outside of that. Swadhyaya, Ishvara Pranidhanani. We already saw this in chapter 1, how one can get to the state of samadhi, right? As part of the first sutra of Bhakti Yoga, we saw that in chapter 1. Sutra 123, Ishara Pranidhanatva, we said. Patanjali Muni said that. Ishvara Pranidhanatva, just by surrender to the divine. So Ishvara Pranidhanani means surrender to God, to surrender to the unmanifest divine, completely letting go. So to impress upon you what the surrender is, I keep on saying various things. And even yesterday you saw a video. That bhakti, that is that surrender. So unless that kind of surrender is there, there is no bhakti. So please understand that very clearly. So he says tapas, swadhyaya, deep meditation, self-inquiry, and surrender to the divine are the three components that make up Kriya Yoga. So let us spend a little time on this tapas. Tapas, tapaha or tapas, as we say. Tapa means heat. Heat. So in that, this heat is needed. Heat is considered as that which purifies. I mean, we ourselves can see that when we want to purify metals, we heat them up, and then we are able to separate out the impurities, like for gold, silver, all the noble metals, right? And even other metals. That's what we do. I mean, it is heated to separate out the impurities. So if you think in terms of the electromagnetic vibrations that we are made of, that are embedded in us as programs, elimination of the programs is considered to happen through heat. So to generate that heat, that is why we meditate. So when nadis purify through this tapas, heat is the basis by which it purifies. So don't think that if you go and sit in a sauna or in a steam bath, you will get purified. No, it is that internal purification that has to take place through a deep meditation. So in that, heat is generated, and that heat clears the nadis. When the nadis clear, as the nadis slowly clear, then the connectivity to the divine happens. So generally tapas means purification. Purification also happens by a heat. That is why it is called tapa, tapas, tapaha. Is this clear? The concept of Kriya Yoga, yoga of action. Okay. Now everyone able to hear me, right? Everyone is quiet.
Yes, sir. I can hear.
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yeah, we can hear.
Okay, thank you. So in the second sutra, he says, Sabha Samadhi Bhavanartha Klesha Tanu Karana Artha Cha. Samadhi Bhavanartha Klesha Tanu Karanartha Cha. Cha means and. You all know that. Bhavanartha means the intent. So he is going to describe what is the intent of yoga of action or Kriya Yoga. So here is the intent of Kriya Yoga or the yoga of action is to attain Samadhi, correct? So that's why he says Samadhi Bhavanartha. The intent is to attain Samadhi. That's why we read the 51 sutras in chapter 1 about various things about Samadhi. I mean, basically to understand what the Samadhi means. So he says the intent of Kriya Yoga is Samadhi and the realization that the body, Tanu means body, that the body is to be used as a tool. Karana means tool. Karana, sorry, not Karana, Karana. Karana. Tanu Karana means body to be used as a tool. To do what? To get rid of the to get rid of the kleshas, to get rid of the impurities and thereby attain Samadhi. Okay. The intention of Kriya Yoga is to attain Samadhi and to get that realization that the body with the kleshas is an instrument. So since he has now introduced this new term klesha, impurities, in the next few sutras he is going to explain what those are. Is this clear? Shall we move on to sutra number 3?
Yes, Kumarji. Yes.
So with this understanding that this body with the impurities, it has come with impurities. We have no choice. And this impurity which we are calling as klesha, understanding that this body with this klesha is to be, the intent is to attain Samadhi. So using the body as an instrument to attain Samadhi. Okay. Now, he is going to explain what are all the various impurities, kleshas. Avidya, Asmita, sutra number 3. Avidya, Asmita, Raga, Dvesha, Abhinivesha, Kleshaha. Avidya, Asmita, Raga, Dvesha, Abhinivesha, Kleshaha. Kleshaha is singular, Kleshaha is plural. So he is saying impurities, so that he uses the plural, Kleshaha. Avidya, that is the number 1 impurity, he says, that is ignorance. That is Atmic ignorance, that's what we say. Lack of primal knowledge. So very clearly that means understanding of the 4th dimension, that is the Atma Vidya part. That is what we are here he is calling as avidya, not things about the material, understanding of the materialistic world. No, something beyond that. So avidya is the lack of understanding of, lack of primal knowledge, or no law, or lack of existence of primal knowledge, no knowledge of existence, why we are here, how this universe was created, what we were doing earlier. Once we get to the point of death, where will we go? What happened to all those people who were born before us? Where did they come from? What happened to all those who died before us? Where did they go? Those kinds of things. Lack of understanding of those kinds of things. That is avidya. Asmita is me as the experiencer, that feeling. Raga is desires or attachments. Dvesha. Dvesha is hatred, things that one hates, one doesn't dislikes. So this raga and dvesha together in conventional Vedanta, we call that as manas. Right? Manas. It's a component of the manas. Okay. So avidya, asmita, raga, dvesha, abhinivesha, klesha. So what is abhinivesha? Abhinivesha is the sense of doer. So me as the doer, I always, we keep saying that I did this, I did that, I went there, I resolved this problem. I am the only one who can run fast. I'm the only one who can cook so well. I'm the only one who can sing so well. In that, there was a movie in the 60s or early 70s, I can't remember exactly the year. In Tamil, it came out as Thiruvilayadal, the divine play. I'm sure it was probably dubbed in other languages, because it was a very, very popular movie and it was a very successful movie. In that movie is a divine play. That's what it means. The play of the divine, or the how the divine comes to the earth in various forms and does certain things at different times. So as part of that, there would be there's an incident there where there was a very popular singer. If I'm not wrong, his name was Hemanatha Bhagavata. The Tamil movie, Balaya acted as Hemanatha Bhagavata. So this Hemanatha Bhagavata was so popular. He was very, very popular and he was well known. So finally, he will conquer just through his singing. He was making a living and he was getting tremendous amount of property and money. And finally, he comes to the Pandya kingdom and challenges the Pandya king that somebody from the Pandya kingdom should compete with him. So prior to that, he actually sings in the Pandya kingdom And as part of the song, he will say, who can compete with me? Is there anybody in this world who can compete? That's how the song will end. And then the Pandya king asks and his subjects, who will compete with him? And nobody will come forward because they all know that they have already witnessed and they have already heard about him, and they will not want to compete with him. So that's how it goes. But what I'm trying to get at that is that kind of a feeling that I can sing, I am the best singer, that is how that song itself will be framed. It is a very beautiful song. The lyrics are fantastic, very beautiful. So that is that abhinivesha. So finally, this Bhagavatar will be defeated by a person who sings just plain bhajans. The king will see, this is where the king intelligence comes. The minister, actually the minister of the king will say, there is a pious person who sings in the temple, and let us bring him, because that is our only hope, because he has the connectivity with the divine. So without even coming to the court, there will be an incident through which this Hemanatha Bhagavatar will understand and he will leave. So the person with the divine connectivity prays to the divine to save him. Save him what? To save the country, not him actually, to save the country from that feeling from defeat from the Hemanatha Bhagavatar. And he will say, and he will pray to the divine to save him, and the divine will come and save him, will come and save the country. Anyway, so much for Abhinivesha. So these are the 5 kleshas that all of us have. Avidya, Asmita, Raga, Dvesha, Abhinivesha. And these are the ones which cause the chittavrittis, the thoughts. And the thoughts in turn create the actions, reactions. So then, now that he has explained.
Kumarji,
Yes.
excuse me. Can you give an example for me as the experiencer? I know it's like I'm not quite sure what here it is.
When we come to Asmita, I'll explain. Experiencer, we saw number of sutras in chapter 1. We saw quite a few sutras in chapter 1, where Patanjali Muni is constantly saying, become an experiencer. What is the third sutra? The second sutra is Yoga Chitta Vritti Nirodha.
Nirodha.
Right? Yoga
Right.
Chitta Vritti Nirodha. What is the next sutra? If you see, Tada Drashtuhu Swarupe Avasthanam. When you are in that state, then you understand who you truly are. When you are not, yoga chitta, when your chitta vrittis are controlled, then you know who you truly are. Then you are in touch with true reality, which means you have become an experiencer. What is being an experiencer? I have said so many things about accepting, right?
Yes.
No, that is experiencing. Accepting is experiencing. Getting hurt, getting upset, reacting, all that is being in Abhinivesha. See, you saw that video on Krishna Paramatma and Arjuna.
Correct.
He goes to the king and says, this is what I want. I want you to do this. I don't want to explain that because others have not read that yet. The king could have easily got upset. and hurt. Correct?
Correct.
But the king did not. That is an experience. He's just taking in what Krishna is saying. You understand?
Mhm. Thank you.
So let's go on to the next sutra. Avidya. So now he's going to explain each klesha by klesha. He's going to give definitions for each one of them. Avidya kshetram uttaresham prasupta tanu vichinna udharanam. Avidya kshetram. Avidya. Kshetram means location, place. The location of avidya. Where is it? Uttaresham. Uttareshama means on top of everything else. What is the on top of everything else? It is the number one thing. It is on top of raga, dvesha,
Vesha,
asmita and
Abhinivesha.
abhinivesha. All four of them. So he's saying avidya is at the topmost. That is why we keep on talking about avidya. Avidya kshetram uttaresham, the location of avidya or its position is at the very top of the pile. There are 5 of them and it is top of the pile. And what does it do? Prasupta, tanu, vichinna, udharanam. This is just tanu. Earlier we saw tanu, right, for
Bar.
body.
What is this? Body.
Yeah, that is tanu. This is tanu. The dirgha is not there in the nu. It is like kal and kal. 2 different things. Kal means leg, kal means stone, right? You have to be careful. Tanu, vichinna, udarana. Prasupta means, he says, avidya, prasupta is subtly dormant, inactive. So avidya can be dormant. Or avidya can be tanu. Tanu means weak. It can be weak. Dormant means it is inactive. Weak means now and then it is active. Vichinna means broken up. In pieces here and there. Udarana means fully active. Avidya is fully active. So we need not actually, for us, we need not even worry about the first 3. We have to focus on Udaranam, right? For all of us, avidya is fully active all the time. But anyway, we do want to understand what is why he is saying it is of these 4 types, how it is present in 4 different ways. So when he says how do we know it is fully active? It is fully active within us. That means every time when it is fully active, we are fighting with life every time. We are not accepting anything. That is how we are, right? We are fighting with life, with everything that happens in life. If there is a death, we cannot accept it. If there is an illness, we cannot accept it. We question everything, we question. If a child has no interest in mathematics, we will question it. If a child doesn't have interest in science subjects, we'll question it. If a child doesn't have interest in music, we'll question it. If the child doesn't have interest in dance, we'll question it. So when it is active within us means we are fighting with life all the time. Vichinna, when it is broken up, in which case you seem to be sensible sometimes, and at other times not, and at other times we are not sensible. We get carried away with the activations, and hence we react. Meaning everything that hits us, we get carried away by that. But other times we may be sensible. We may be an observer at other times. So that's why vichinna, it can exist in a form where it is broken up. So tanu, when it is weak, at certain times when it is weak, which means you get affected, but not as seriously when it is fully active. When it is weak, this is what happens. You get affected seriously at sometimes may not. So avidya, being weak, this is the kind of experiences you might have. When it is dormant or inactive, subtly dormant, you may sometimes feel intuitively within you, or you may not. You may have some realizations. You may get some good understanding of the real life. This is what happens when it is dormant, prasupta. When it is prasupta, you may get these kinds of experiences. You may have this intuitive ability now and then. It may not be there all the time. So avidya works in that kind of a domain. So it works in these 4 different ways. Is this clear?
Yes, Kumarji.
Okay. Now, since we have seen avidya, let us see what he says in the next sutra. Okay. So he has given a definition for avidya, and the next sutra he is also giving a little bit more. Anitya, ashuchi, dukkha, anatmasu, nitya shuchi, sukha, atma kyatehi avidya. Anitya, nitya, anitya. Nitya means it's always there, permanent. Anitya means impermanent, temporary. Okay. Ashuchi means impure. It comes from shaucha. Shaucha means clean. Ashuchi means impure. Dukkha, misery, sorrow. Those kinds of things. So, anatmasu. Anatmasu means it comes from atma, comes from that atma, anatma. That atma means you're fulfilled, you're peaceful, etc. Anatma means not fulfilled. That's what we are right now, in that state of anatma. It is not soulful. So kyatehi means that understanding, that or such understanding is avidya. So what does avidya do? That's what he's trying to give here. So it is making you thinking that what is impermanent, anitya. So avidya makes you think what is impermanent, anitya, impure, ashuchi, dukkha. It is making, because of that, and miserable, and with all these things, thinking that what is impermanent, impure, and miserable in nature is actually permanent. We think those are all the permanent things. We think what is temporary as permanent. We know that death is going to come, but we all think that that is not going to come to me. That is how we lead our lives. Death can come any second. That is the temporary nature of life. You may lose your money the next moment. You may lose I may lose my house the next moment. The fire may come, the house may get destroyed. So many things can happen. But we live as if such things will never happen to us. That is why when a hurricane is approaching and the government is saying you have to leave the place, we think many people don't leave, saying that, oh, nothing will happen to me, right? So these kinds of things arise from avidya. So avidya makes you think all that is impermanent, impure, and miserable in nature, dukkha, in nature, is actually permanent. And it makes you think that it is pure and joyful. Impermanent, you think as permanent. Impure as pure. Miserable things, you think as joy. This is what is avidya, or lack of correct perspective. Okay. So he says anitya followed by nitya. Anitya, impermanent, we think as nitya, permanent. Ashuchi, impure as shuchi, as pure. Dukkha, misery, as sukha. Anatmasu. So obviously that the soulful feeling is not there because we don't have this understanding of what really soulful means. Soulful means understanding and undergoing life as is. So, but we are not able to do that because of avidya. Avidya does all these things to us. So now, moving on to the next sutra. Any question on this? Okay. Drigdarshana Shaktyoho Ekatmata Iva Asmita. Drigdarshana means what one is able to see or experience. Shaktyoho means energy. Asmita means observe or experiencer. Ekatma Eva. Eva means only. Ekatma means becoming one. Ekatma Eva means becoming one with. That's what it means. Ekatma Eva Asmita means becoming one with what you see or experience. So he's explaining Asmita. He's explaining Asmita as when there is an object that you are seeing. Then there is a process of seeing. that lets the energy connect in. The process of seeing lets the energy to connect into that. When all of this, the object that you're seeing, the energy, and the process of seeing, all that becomes one, as if they become one, ekatma eva, that is what is Asmita. In other words, you are observing everything as a pure observer, without bringing in the mind to comment using normal adjectives. I hate this, I really like this, I really want this. Those kinds of things are not there. Okay.
Excuse me, Kumarji.
Yeah.
I had a doubt in the last session too on Asmita. I think I'm not clear yet. Why is it regarded as a klesha? It's you are becoming one with what you see or experience.
Yes.
Then
Let me yes, I know it is a little difficult to understand. Let me finish the other four and I'll come to this.
Okay.
So we have seen Asmita. We'll come back to Asmita again. We'll move on to Sutra 2.7. Sukha Anushayi Raga. So it's now explaining what is Raga. Raga is the likes, attachments, desires, all that. What it is? What is it?
Please scroll the.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Sukha Anushayi Raga. So, Raga, where does it come from? Where does it flow? Anushayi means what flows, flowing from. Sumati, can you mute yourself, please?
Yes, Kumarji.
So, from Sukha, from the feeling of goodness, from that comes, from that flows Raga, from that comes desires. So sense of joy, that sensual pleasure actually, the pleasure of the senses is what gives you from that arises Raga or desires or attachments. Sukha Anushayi Raga. Similarly, Dukkha Anushayi Dvesha. Very simple to understand. Similarly, from dukkha, from misery, from sorrow, from pain comes dvesha. Somebody hurts me, then immediately I say, I hate him, I hate her. Swarasa vahi vidushaha api tatha arudaha abhiniveshaha. Swarasa. Two words. Swarasa. Again, swa means self. Rasa means essence. Rasam. We make rasam, right? So essence. So here you have to that essence, the intent or the self. So it means the sense of self, self-sense, self-essence. Swarasa vahi. Vahi comes from vahana. Vahana means vehicle. Or in this case, vahi means, what does vahanam do? Gets you to move from one place to the other. Gets you to go from one place to the other. Just like you're flowing from one place to the other. To carry you, right? Use vahanam. So vahi is to carry or to flow. Vidushaha means learned people. People who are learned, vidwans. Actually, that's what it means. Vidushaha means vidwan. Vidushaha is actually male. Pullinga padam indicates a male. Vidushi means female. So on the stage, when you are recognizing, especially these musicians, you must always address them as Vidushaha or Vidushi. Api tata, also, api is also, tata, and in this case, aruddha. Aruddha means mounted or established. What is mounted or established? Abhiniveshaha. This Abhiniveshaha, he says, is established even in learned people, Vidushaha, because it makes them think that whatever they are achieving, whatever they are doing, whatever has come to them is because of their own effort. That is what that's Swarasa. Swarasa. So it makes them think it is from their own effort. It is their own hard work. So Abhiniveshaha is the sense that one controls the flow of one's energies. This is the sense of doership. That is one's energies, that even learned people are established on or mounted on. So even established, learned people sometimes fall a victim to this. They are established on that. They are mounted on that, and it takes them for a ride. So this is what happened to Hemanatha Bhagavata. Highly talented musician, but that Abhiniveshaha took over. Clear?
Yes, Kumarji.
So all these 5 things are clear to everyone. Avidya, Asmita, Raga, Dvesha, and Abhiniveshaha. These are the kleshas that all of us have. Is this clear?
Yes.
Yes, everyone?
Very to understand, sir.
Hmm?
Very tough to understand, but I will listen your video again and try to understand, sir.
No. What is that you did not understand? I can explain. That is why I'm asking this question. What is tough to understand here? Tell me. Which one is tough to understand?
Raga is tough. Abhinivesha is also tough for me, sir.
Tough to
Avidya,
understand?
yeah, yes, sir.
Raga is all the desires that you have in life. All that you likes you have. And it comes from that sensual pleasure. From seeing, from hearing, from touching, from tasting. The 5 senses. It comes from those 5 senses. You hug somebody, you hug your grandchild, from that feeling of that hugging, from that sensual pleasure.
Okay.
The feeling of touch. From that, what comes from that attachment? Oh, I like this so much. I like my grandson so much. I cannot let go of him. So it comes from that.
Okay, sir.
The sense of taste. You taste something, you like that sweet. You cannot stop with one. You have to eat 10. When I say you, all of us. I mean, it can be a sweet. It can be a savory dish too. Yesterday I was watching something and there was suddenly a commercial popped up, and in that commercial they said, and only after watching a little bit I understood that the commercial was about some kind of about some program on weight loss. So they are explaining, they are showing, unfortunately they were showing a lady, and she's all having a yoga mat in her hand, and she has worn yoga clothes, and she's about to step out of the house, and she sees outside there is a small van with all candies and people are buying and eating. So immediately she rushes there and buys the candy and eats. And then she sees something else, nice fruit salad, she says, with ice cream and all that. So they are showing some 4 or 5 shots. And then they say that to control yourself, to control your weight, don't think that you're losing out on food. See, this is what happens to many people. I've seen this. They will go to a wedding and there are 25 items. They will eat as if these items they will never see in life thereafter. Haven't you seen this? Hello?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes. So, thinking that giving into that feeling that you're going to lose out on life. That comes from that avidya. So, this desire, you see all these things because you have tasted some of these things earlier and that it has come in front of you, you don't want to let go. You want to eat it. Won't the candy thing come another day? Yeah, it will come. When you're wanting to lose weight, why do you want to eat it? So this sensual pleasure, from that sukha here means sensual pleasure. From that comes all these desires from raga. Is this understood?
Yes, sir.
So dvesha, you understand?
Yes, sir.
What is that? Another one you didn't understand. You said 2 things that you didn't understand. One was raga. What was the other one?
1 second. Abhinivesha.
Abhinivesha is the sense of doer, thinking that I am the one who is doing this. Instead of having this feeling that I am just an instrument. I am making this sambar, but I am only an instrument. All this intelligence, all the recipes, all the various ingredients that I am putting in, the quantity, the blend, all that intelligence is coming from the divine. It came maybe, and right now I'm doing it from my memory. How did it get stored in the memory? It came from the divine and got stored in the memory for a period of time. Can you be like that, Madhavi?
Not now. Maybe if keep on practicing, I can reach that point, sir.
No, you have been saying this for the past 4 months.
But lot of things.
I don't know when that practice is going to start. Anyway, is this clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I want to go back to Asmita. The question Uma raised. Asmita is being in the state of experience, and then why is it listed as a klesha? Should it be an impurity? Should it not be listed as a purity? That was a question. Yes. See, we have to imagine ourselves as the divine, as the unmanifest divine.
Kumar, Uma
Yes.
is not there.
So, what happened to her? She left?
She left, I think. She has given a chat message.
Oh.
Had to leave. Sorry.
Okay, let her leave. Okay, all right. But anyway, I will explain this. You can watch it in the video. So, I'm sure all of you have that question, why Asmita is listed as the impurity. Does everybody have that question or no? Then we can forget.
No, have.
You have that question?
Yes.
Okay. So let us think of ourselves as the unmanifest divine. That unmanifest divine is that Parabrahma. What is Parabrahma?
All.
Yeah, but what will be his state? Is he doing anything?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Is
Nishchalana. Right? Nothing. He is just enjoying that emptiness. There is nothing flowing in him. Raga, there are three gunas in us. We saw that in chapter 1. What are those gunas? Sattva, Rajas,
Rajas, Tamas.
and Tamas. These three gunas. So when you are beyond all this, or when we normally say sattva, when you're filled with sattva, none of these things are there, then you become Parabrahma. That's why we say the unmanifest is divine as Triguna Tita, one who is beyond these three gunas, Triguna Tita. But for the universe to function, being in that state, the universe will not function. So he had to create Prakriti. And he had to give this asmita, the sense of experiencer. The sense of experiencer is needed to do some creative activity. You have to have the sense of experiencing. Even to have that, the sense of experiencing has to be there. That is why it is listed as an impurity. Because in that sense of experiencing, a little bit of raga, a little bit of rajas is needed for creativity. A ripple of rajas is needed. You have to come down a notch. That is why it is listed. Only for that reason, asmita is put here as an impurity. Do you understand? Everyone is quiet.
Okay.
That means it's not understood. See, for any creation to take place, anything to take place, a bit of rajas is needed. So, from the state of nothing, a ripple of rajas has to come for even to creativity to take place. So that ripple, because it is a ripple, we call it as an impurity and we have put it as part of impurity. If we have nothing, even if that is not there, then this universe will not function. That is why Prakriti is given these 5 things. With me?
Yes.
It's a little difficult to understand, but if you ponder on what I have said, you will understand this. You have to understand no ripple state, like a lake, nothing. Nothing is there. And then for creation to take place, there has to be some activity. And that activity can come only with rajas. So that rajas, a little spike, is what makes asmita, makes you an experiencer.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
But in our state, asmita is good. We want to be in the state of asmita, where we just want to experience everything. That's all. Not react. On the one extreme, we have Abhinivesha, and the other extreme is the state of Asmita. Okay.
Okay.
So on that note, we finish today's class. We have done 9 sutras. So please review all these sutras. I keep saying this over and over again. Please review all the sutras. Please do the. I gave an assignment. No one has sent me.
I'll reply tomorrow,
Huh?
Kumarji.
Hmm?
Tomorrow.
Oh, this is that. See, when I was young. Well, yeah, I have to go back. So because I used to, because going to school and college and all that, to take a train. So in the railway station, there was a board. Maybe I saw this only when I was maybe 7 or 8. And in that board is written in Tamil. Big board is hanging. And the board is written, Inda Varam Ananda Vigadan Vasithirgala. Inda Varam Ananda Vigadan Vasithirgala. Ananda Vigadan is a weekly magazine, very, very popular. It used to be those days. Very widely read. It means in English, have you read this Ananda Vigadan magazine? This week's Ananda Vigadan magazine. That's what it means. So first I read it, oh, I said, oh, nice. They have put this board. And then the following week, when I saw that, it was the same thing. So I said, oh, very nice. So they are asking this week whether you have read this magazine. So after 2-3 weeks, I realized that what a smart advertisement this is. They don't have to make any change. And every week it is reminding you, did you buy that? I mean, it's not saying buy. When you say read, obviously you have to buy, right? What a nice, such a smart, intelligent advertisement asking people to read Ananda Vigadan. They don't have to change anything. They don't have to bring new notices or anything. It keeps on, it's one thing that is there permanently and it keeps on reminding people, have you read it? Have you read it? Do you understand what I'm saying? So I keep on saying the same thing every week. Do the Grahapata, do the, now I gave an assignment and I have not received any. So what I'm telling Sumati is, it should not become like this board. This tomorrow you say, right? Tomorrow when I ask, oh, no, tomorrow. Permanent tomorrow.
No, Kumarji.
See, when I was in engineering in Crompet, Madras Institute of Technology, so all of us have studied physics or math 3 years, and then we come there for the engineering. So physics and math in generally in those days, it used to be only 5 hours a day, weekly 5 hours theory. I mean, not weekly, sorry, daily. 5 hours theory or practicals, 5 hours of college, and only 5 days, 25 hours. Saturday, Sunday were holidays. So from there, I am coming to this professional institution, engineering institution, where it was 5.5 days. Not only 5.5 days, it was 8 hours a day. So 40 hours plus 44 hours. So from 25 hours, it is almost double, 44 hours. Why I'm saying double is almost after the first couple of weeks from this beginning of, from the start of the class, from the start of the school year, they will start having special classes every Saturday, 2 couple of hours. So 40, 44, 42, 46 hours. So almost, that's why I said double. Okay. And then there will be at least 3 tests every week. And these are not like, you write the test and you forget. No, because from the test, they will take marks, something called sessionals. At the end of the semester, we will write exam. The exam is for 75 marks. And then whatever tests you have done is actually 25 marks. So the exam is 75, and through the semester, all the tests that they have conducted, assignments, all that put together will carry 25 marks. So if you do not do your test well and you get only 0 in test, the 25 marks is gone. Then you have only the 75 to work with. And out of that 75, I think the pass percentage was 55 or 60, something like that. Out of 100, you have to get 60, which means out of 75, you have to get 60, something like that. So it is a very steep thing. So 3 tests, assignments will be there every week. So we can never say, I will do it tomorrow, because tomorrow there will be another thing. We have to do it that day. Because if I postpone it to tomorrow, there will be 3 more things to do the next day.
Yes, Guruji.
Huh?
Agreed. True.
So when I went to professional college for the first almost 1 semester, I struggled, because to understand this concept took me about 3-4 months, that you cannot postpone anything. You have to do it then and there, that day. Because next day is going to be another set of tasks that will come, which has to be done that day. No professor is going to ask you, if you don't do it, you don't get your sessional marks. That's all. They don't care.
Yes.
Okay. So similarly, if you don't do your assignment, it is not a loss for me. Then these are all the steps in evolving, in understanding. So it's up to you.
Sir, can you again explain about Asmita?
See, Asmita is the sense of experiencing. Be an experiencer, which is not normally what we want. We don't want to be a doer. We don't want to be in the state of doer, but we want to be an experiencer. And we don't want avidya, we don't want raga, we don't want dvesha. We don't want to be in the state of abhinivesha, but we want to be in the state of asmita. So the question was, why asmita is listed as impurity? That's where we came. So if you ask me what is asmita, asmita means being an experiencer, being an observer. What does that mean? That means being in the cosmic flow of things. Just accepting things as they are. I sent a big set of messages yesterday with myself and a family friend, right? I'm sure all of you read that. Did everyone read that?
Yes.
Yes, sir, I did.
Yes.
Right? You read that, right?
Yeah.
So when you are an observer, nothing will bother you. Nothing will bother you.
Means after reading the text, nothing will bother us. That's what you're saying?
No. Now, did I read the text for me to be not bothered?
It didn't bother you.
Huh?
It didn't bother you, sir.
So it did not bother me, right?
Mm.
Is it because of reading the text or not reading the text?
Not reading the text. Didn't bother
I
you.
did not read the text.
And
What
not
I'm
reading.
saying is I gave that experience yesterday to all of you because we had chatted, myself and my family friend chatted. So it was already there. It was not on the phone.
Mm-mm.
We were typing messages. I mean, on the phone, but typing messages. We were not speaking. So it was this set of things were there. So I put it there so that you all understand what it means. It was not about the program of Ilayaraja. Madhavi, you understood that it was about the program of Ilayaraja. No, it can be with respect to anything.
Okay.
That is why I put those messages. But I have to give an example, right? So yesterday it so happened it was Ilayaraja program, so I put that thing. So you straight went to the thing saying, oh, you got attached to the Ilayaraja program, and then you gave some messages that somebody went to Ilayaraja program earlier, they stayed in a hotel overnight, all that. So I did not answer those questions because it is irrelevant. The message that I am giving you is to be an observer. What did you learn from that?
Means you wanted to teach us the class today, so you don't want to miss the sleep.
No.
So,
okay, yes, correct. What else was there? More important things.
You didn't stop your wife to go. She has to enjoy her life. She's interested in music, so she should go.
Okay. It's not that I'm not interested in music. I'm interested in music too.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So never assume. What I don't like, what I don't...
Noise.
Yeah. I won't say like, but what I don't want to be present, why I don't want to be present is the extra noise, because people will not let you enjoy the concert. People will be jumping around. They'll be making all kinds of noise, cat calls, right? Ooh, they will shout. Haven't you heard this?
Yes, sir.
Now those things have come to Carnatic music too.
Oh.
Yes. Not while they are doing the raga. But when the Tani Avartanam is going on, many people don't understand. So if the percussionist is playing something, very, very fast, they'll say, "Ooh!" They will all shout. Something terrible has befallen them. Or at the end, they will sing some bhajans. So many people can identify themselves. They can identify those songs because they have sung it probably many times. So there also they will shout like that. So these kinds of extraneous things. See, this enjoyment, people have forgotten this enjoyment is inside and not outside. Why make this big scene that you're enjoying? Enjoyment has to be inside. Asmita. Experience it. Experience the enjoyment. Experience the beauty of music. All that you experience it. For experiencing, you don't have to shout. Then I have understood that this ooh, ah is not actually, they are expressing just instead of applauding, right? Srilata probably knows this. Instead of applauding, they shout, make all these cat calls. Anyway, okay. But what else did you understand? There are more important things to understand in that. Something about money. You're deliberately avoiding that, Madhavi?
No, sir. I didn't pay. I saw something around $300. Some Uber.
Right.
So
But
that all, I'm saying that also did not bother me. Either I have to allow, I mean, she has to go from home to that auditorium. She didn't want to drive. I cannot question her why you cannot drive. That is an individual's choice. Instead of questioning, otherwise I should go. The other choice is I should go.
Hmm.
So that is a non-negotiable thing. I don't want to go because I have a class this morning.
Hmm.
I have a commitment to this class and not commitment to Ilayaraja's program.
Hmm. Hmm.
This class may not mean much to you, but it means a lot to me. At the drop of a hat, people will say, oh, yesterday I was tired, so I could not get up. Oh, I did not keep my alarm, did not turn on. I did not turn on the alarm, or I did not set my alarm. Or when at 6 o'clock in the morning, I got a call from India. You can say everything, anything. That shows our commitment. Commitment also, you'll have to go back to chapter 1 again. In one of the sutras, he says, experiences will come to you based on the intensity. Intensity also includes commitment. Unless you are committed, that intensity will not come, correct? So I don't want to preach. I've done enough preaching. So,
I posted that my friend went because she's interested and she went there. That is my intention.
no. That is not the message that I sent was not for that. The message was to understand how to be an experiencer, how to be an observer. We have done this enough in the last chapter. We have talked about that. That did not enter your head. What entered in your head is Ilayaraja's program. I don't know if you're even now whether you're understanding what I'm saying. I am not sure. Your husband can explain it to you. He understood. Now and then, please listen to him.
Okay, sir.
If I say all this, then you will run away from my class.
Sure, same thing.
Huh?
I'm thinking.
You're thinking of running away.
Yes.
See, I know.
I will run away, but I'll come back. I'll run away on Sunday after class, come back on again on Sunday morning. No, sir, first time, so it takes time for me to follow and adjust. Frankly, I want to tell you, it takes a lot of dedication.
No, Madhavi, before you put out a comment, think. I did not put that for you to tell me your friend and stayed in a hotel to watch Ilayaraja's program. That was not the intent. The intent was not about Ilayaraja's program. That is where you got it wrong. This would have been for anything. If there was a wedding, it's the same thing. Let us say there was a some kind of a ceremony at the temple. Same thing. If they are going to do late evening, late night thing, even if it is a Kumbhabhishekam, I mean, obviously they won't do in the night. I'm saying, supposing they did something in the night. I have a commitment. 6 o'clock in the morning, I have a class, which means I have to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning. I cannot come home at 1 o'clock in the night and then get up at 5. I may get up, but I may be bleary-eyed, I may be sleepy. I don't want to present myself like that because I have a commitment here. That's all I'm saying. More importantly, I wanted you to read that and understand what an experiencer means, what an observer means. It is not about Ilayaraja's program. That's what I'm trying to tell you. So, when you read my messages, please read it deeply. Discuss with your husband. Tell him what you have understood and then ask him if this is what If that's what it means. What I write, see, like in Vedanta.
Mm.
See, in Vedanta, there are 4, for each line of what is written there are different levels of meaning. Yeah, a person who is reading it for the first time, he will understand it at a very shallow level. A person who has been at it for a while, he will understand at a little deeper level. Look, deeper. There may be 3 or 4 levels. You are picking it up at a very shallow level. So discuss with your husband. You have a teacher right next to you. Hello? Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. Namaste, everyone. Any questions before I sign off?
On the lighter side, right?
Yes.
On the lighter side, right? So
No.
suppose
I meant it.
in Telugu there is one saying. There is a, let's say, Ayurvedic medicine tree in your backyard, right? And that really serve you the disease that one has, let's say, but they'll always think that it won't fit.
They always say
not going to cure them. So the neighbor's same tree is useful.
Yes.
You got what I said?
Yes. Exactly. The other side of the fence is green.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
Thank you. Namaste,
Okay.
everyone.
But lovely class. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Namaste.
Thank you. Namaste.
Thank you, sir. Namaste.
Namaste.
Namaste.